my name's Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio that is fairly large by some standards, smaller by others. It's my work area. It's not where I have my classes. But because I have retired stuff kind of going out, I have my butterfly class that went out but I haven't put up, and then I have my retreat, which is 12 projects and 3 different stamp sets. That's all over my table. So I'm actually working in, this much stuff, which I know is quite common for stampers. And it's not only that, the space issue, but I just met my sister. I did upload some of the retreat projects. If you didn't sign up for it, you're going to miss out, because I must say I'm in love with some of these retreat cards. They are so super fabulous. But I did get some of those uploaded this morning, and then I met my sister, who's freshly home from Florida. I think they got home at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we literally met at the grocery and then planned our Easter dinner as we were shopping. And you get this, I'll get this, as we went up and down the rows, and then in the parking lot decided made sure we had everything. So it's that kind of a week. And then here's the funny story. I said I need to get home because my box is there. Because once upon a time, pre-COVID, and I'm starting to think that now companies are just blaming poor customer service on COVID. Once upon a time, when you paid for overnight shipping, which I didn't pay for it, but that's another story. But I did get overnight shipping. When you paid for it, then that meant your box arrived early. And I know for a lot of the girls who've got overnight shipping, our stuff didn't get here early. So we're talking early afternoon now, but I got the alert and it said my package had been delivered. So I got home and this was the package that had been delivered, which is kind of exciting, because if you were part of our Facebook group for the Butterfly Brilliance, we had a fun little free weekend where you could just come, and myself and several of my team members just did demonstrations all weekend long, and you could just hop in and watch. And our grand prize was this mini cut and emboss. So I have this now. It was delivered to me so I can send it out to the winner. So that's what was delivered. So exciting for her, kind of a letdown for me. But, I was able to bring in all the groceries, which is never anybody's favorite job, right? So if you're a demonstrator and you're watching this, don't be messaging me when you get your order and say, my catalog wasn't in it. Because there isn't a catalog in this year's order. If you're going to On Tour, your catalog will arrive. You may already have it. If you're not going to On Tour, your catalog will arrive shortly, but they're not in your first order, which is different. I cannot show you the inside of the catalog because we're not allowed to until after the catalog goes live. But it is beautiful. And I would just like you to take a second, if you follow my channel, to say that I didn't even know I was on trend, but all of my little watercolor or tie-dye cards that I've been doing, this wasn't part of our pre-order. It is fabulous. And it looks like all of those little watercolor cards that I was doing, but you don't have to do it because Stampin' Up! Gave us the paper. So pretty. So let's see. I pushed back everything. Like here, literally, retreat stamp pads. I just moved everything's shoved out of the way. So here's one thing. So being a demonstrator is the best job in the world, and you can do it for a myriad of reasons. The number one thing is you love to create, right? And we love to, we're all friends with the people that we stamp with, and that's one of the best reasons. But everything in this box, which is almost everything that you could get from the pre-order, I didn't get multiple quantities, and I didn't get all of the colors of the card stock. Everything I got was free, as was my overnight shipping, and I still have product credit left. I didn't even use all of my product credit. So not only do we get discounts on what we buy, you can earn product credits through the year. So all I paid, including my overnight shipping, all I paid for this was tax. So if you're interested in joining my team and learning how you too can get free product, I'd be happy to answer your questions. One of the perks of joining my team is that you get to do my classes and things for free as well. So all my online classes. So normally I do these live. It just wasn't going to work today. And normally when I do them live, the saddest part for me is my daughter, who is also a demonstrator, normally does them with me, but she has a big girl job now. She's an adult. But for a while she was working retail, and she no longer is working retail. So she could always schedule her days so she could be available. Now these I did get 2 of. because I got a set for me, and then I'm going to be giving 2 of them away. If you place an order the first day, the catalog goes live in May, so be watching my email, then you can be entered to win for one of these. They're the Stampin' Up's newest mugs. I have a thing for mugs. I must say, I love me a good mug. So these are fun little summer camp mugs that match one of our new stamp sets. Has little happy trails on the inside, little pine cone on the bottom. So everybody who places an order the first day with me online, or you can always email or call me or text me your orders as well. I'm happy to put them in for you. But everybody who does it the first day that the new catalog is live will be entered to win one of the 2 of these, because I got 2 extras. And then I got one for my husband and I. So that's the first thing. So now let's do the in colors. I'm going to try to avoid any piles, because funny story, I took a picture of this for my email this morning and then I lost it. I only have 1 copy and I had to look everywhere because it was buried under all of the retreat stuff that I had moved off the desk. So I was looking and looking and looking and couldn't find it. So here's our new in colors for 2021-2023. So we have Soft Succulent, which is it's a dusty green. Sometimes I can say it's a lighter version of something. There's really not a lighter version of anything. Maybe it's a lighter version of Evening Evergreen, which is another new in color. This has a much more gray-black tone than any of our greens. It's maybe a really strong Mossy Meadow. Then this is Pale Papaya, which is a fun peachy orange, but it's a orange shade of a peach. Of course, I haven't stamped with them, you can tell. I will be taking a very short break from retreat cards to go and stamp with one of the sets out of here. This is Fresh Freesia, super pretty. Brighter version, much brighter version of the Posy that didn't make it. And then Polished Pink. So those are the new in color pads. And then I have them here in the paper. It's a little bit easier to see. So here is the Papaya, the Freesia. I'll separate them because I know the shadows can play with it. And I will do a blog post. Maybe I'll do it right after this, where I'll lay this with the Posy. Because sometimes when you see them just like this, you're like, well, that is Posy. But when you lay it with the Posy cardstock, it's not Posy. And you notice that. Here's the, was it Succulent? Here's the Polished Pink. Looking across, because I can see my colors across here, that's probably a light Mambo, but Mambo's brighter and much brighter than that. And then there's the Evergreen. It may be a little bit of our forest foliage if you've been around for as long as I have. So there's that. Now I must tell you, let's see, we have, I think this was the only ribbon that I got, and this is a Papaya ribbon. I didn't unwind it because I'm gonna have to find, I haven't taken my retired stuff out of here yet, so I won't have room for all this stuff. But look at these are gonna be my favorite. Now I want to remind you that I have everybody's favorite class. My favorite classes that I do are my retreats. You just can't beat, because they're technique based and we do lots of cards. I know y'all like the Try It class the better. So if you've not done a Try It class with me, you'll want it, the registration will open soon. I always need to see what's in the catalog, and there's lots of specialty papers this time. And normally we use all the new papers. We don't use like all the new, when they do the designer series papers, but we do use, they're the in colors. We do use all the new embellishments, as many new ribbons as I can fit in, all the new designer series papers. So we usually do 10 to 12 cards, and then they're all kind of fun folds, and you get a PDF, and then you get a video tutorial for every card, so you get to see every single paper in the videos, and then you get to hold and see every ribbon, every new embellishment. But look at these. I can already tell these are going to be my favorite. I haven't even seen hardly anything, but those are fabulous. They're a bright version. These are the in colors. In color jewels. Super pretty. But the Try It Club registration will open soon. And it can fill, because if we get too many people, then my husband will divorce me. It's not his favorite class of the year. He hates it because cutting the paper is not fun. But the video walkthroughs, you get to see everything up close. So you'll get to see every piece of paper, and then you'll have a card that includes every piece of the new designer series paper. And I usually try to include all the specialty papers, but they're knocking it out of the park with all the specialty papers. So I don't know that we'll use all of them. That's what I have to kind of figure out before I put the registration up. So once I open it, if you want in, you need to get in before it closes. My team members, that I do it 3 times a year because we get 3 catalogs. They get the supplies for that one. The rest of the year, they get to watch all the video ones. For this one, they do get the supplies because I want them to try it too. So these are called the Loose Flower Flourishes. They're hard. They're plastic. I don't know that they're plastic, but they're hard. And those are in the new in colors as well. Not the greens, but the other floral colors. And then I'm in love with this ribbon. This is Highland Heather, but it has fleck in it. Silver, like silver highlights. So pretty. And then one last ribbon is the Smoky Slate. It's some wide ribbon. I like this because it can almost pass. There's another ribbon that goes with the sweet in here. But this can go on masculine cards. The Handsomely Suited Sweet stayed in. I can see that working really well with those suit cards. Okay, I'm already getting a piley going over here. Now here I think I have some stuff that doesn't necessarily go with anything else. These are silver and clear epoxy. And they're teardrops. It's really pretty. It's a fun shape. We haven't had those before. And then this, I tried to open everything. I haven't looked at any of it, but I tried to open it because normally when Carissa's here, we take turns opening it so y'all don't have to watch us slice it all open. That was one advantage to not doing it live. So these are just fun borders. It's a standalone. It doesn't have a stamp set that goes with it, but it cuts and embosses. I am giving away a cut and emboss machine in the month of May. So if you are on my email list or head to my website, you'll see different ways that you can be entered to win. So if you don't have a cut and emboss, or you would like to be able to give one to a daughter, a granddaughter, or a best friend, save it for Christmas. There's several different ways that you can be entered to win that. One of them is by being a participant in the Try It class. And then I love this one because I 70s girl. I love the tie-dye. So this has lots of fun possibilities. It's just a giant clean background stamp. Then we have the Spindle Color and Contour. Really, really pretty fonts. Fun sayings. So it's photopolymer. And then it has the scalloped contour dies, which I think they're rectangle dies. Because, we lost several of our rectangles, several of our shapes, but they were replaced, of course, by some super fun. Oh, those are really fun. So, even if you don't get the stamp set, you're only going to lose 2 things that cut out the flowers, and then you end up with all of those super fun rectangles. This is the worst part, and that's the one thing I do like doing these live unboxings, because by now I would be asking you guys to help me decide what to stamp with first. And then there's usually a general consensus, I can tell, which kind of helps me decide what my first class is, but I've already decided what my first class is, so I don't need your help. And there's a reason I decided what my first class is. This is Quiet Meadow. I always like when they give us the little typed backgrounds. My nails are a hot mess because the retreat is lots of embossing, lots of watercolor. And so I decided not to do my nails for Easter weekend until I was done filming today. And here's the dies that go with Quiet Meadow. Oh yeah, these would work so well because we're doing a lot of resist and coloring pieces with watercolor paper in the retreat. So pretty because these would be perfect cut out of watercolor paper and then colored in. The pastels weren't part of our pre-order, but there are some pastels in the upcoming catalog, and I cannot wait to get my hands on those. I'm a fan of coloring mediums, and they took my shimmer paint away. And then we have the pansies. So because it will be spring, this will be my first class. I'm going to have signups be super soon. They'll start in April, and then I will order this the first week in May. And I will already have designed the class, so I'll be able to get it out to you while pansies are still a thing before the summer heat comes and kills them all. So it is a whole suite, and I'll have a look at it and I'll see how exactly we're going to do it. But the pansy patch will be the May class, the first May class with the new catalog. So it's a fun little stamp set. It's cute on its own. It has great fonts. I super love all of the rest of it though. I haven't looked at these, but I could tell even in the tiny little small print that was the pre-order. I like when stamps are jagged. I mean, dies are jagged, and these have jagged edges. See, look. We may even hit back into some of the watercoloring on some watercolor paper with those, because those are just fabulous. Look at the jagged edges. It's going to make your pansies that you cut out from the paper look real. So there will definitely be some shimmer paper, some watercolor paper, and some really fun. I know that you're going to get the small water painter in this class. I do know that. I don't know what else. Maybe some white embossing powder. I don't know. Well, I'll have to have a look, but wait till you see the rest of it. So these are the bumblebee trinkets. I have to get my April classes done, but you know, my mind's always racing. Always thinking next class, next class, next class. So here's the bumblebee trinkets that go with this. They'll go with, I mean, you could use these with any of our floral, any of our butterflies. You could just stamp a scallop, put a little sentiment there, and then stick a adorable little bumblebee on it. So, I mean, they go with this suite, but they go with anything. You might not want to put them on your Christmas card. Maybe, if you live in Australia. Okay, and here's the paper that goes with. And the paper does have pieces that cut out from the dies. So it has really, really fun floral sides that go with the suite. And then it has super fun. It has some gingham and stripes. So those will go out, cut out with the dies. And then look at that fun gingham. And these have a lot of the new in colors. So a great spring. So much fun. And you can see that's going to just cut out. So we'll do a couple of quick cards, and then we'll do a couple of more technique cards in this class. You won't have to buy the whole suite. You'll just need the stamps and the dies, and then I'll provide the paper and the bumblebees and that kind of thing for you. So that will be my first class. That's why I didn't need your little help in telling me what to use first, because sometimes I'm like, I think I'm going to use the pansies, and then you were all like, no, use those trees. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I'll use the trees, but if I wait and it's the dead of summer, you know, pansies kind of have a short lifespan, and they'll come back. But because of the way, well, I just keep pushing that through. Apparently, I opened that on both sides. And then we are having a live event, like in person, like where you can't. Well, I don't know that you want to touch each other. You can if you're vaccinated, or like me and you had COVID and now you don't, you know, you're good for a while. But we are having a live event in Central Indiana in the summer. So some of these I know will make an appearance at that. And then some of them will definitely make an appearance at my summer retreat. It's kind of like having a baby. I don't really want to think about my summer retreat when I haven't finished the spring one, because there's so much work. It's the most work for me. My husband has the most work with the Try It Club because he's kind of my paper cutter. And that one, or the Try It class, that's a lot of work to cut. The retreats are a lot of work for me to prep. But I can see both of these possibly making the retreat. And then my favorite suite, that tie-dye one, it's going to be a glass because I want to do that one. But this is hand-penned petals. So pretty. Look how pretty that is. And you'll be able to do soft watercolor cards without using the outlines. You can color in and not use the fill-ins, or you can fill them in. So the possibilities, oh, look, it says anything is possible. That's pretty much it with the, oh, here's one I didn't open, but tons of possibilities. And in the retreat today, or yesterday, I guess, I filmed the card and we used the gold gems, which are retiring. And I told them I knew that there was something similar and that this is a similar-ish. They're just so pretty. Because of all of the techniques I've been doing with all of the smudging, I don't know what it is. Every time I see these, my heart just melts. I have no idea which one I'm going to do for you when I'm all done. Those are the dies. And then these are the new gems. So these have a similar look to the gold ones. The other ones are a little bit more, well, they're all gold for one. I like having the option of the green, especially if you're you and you don't have a zillion to send out for a class, then you get the option. The other ones do have green fleck in them. So they're similar. They will be a good replacement if you run out of the others. Okay, I definitely have a pile that could fall on the other side. And here's the paper. I thought that I cut them all well, but you know, I love these colors. Matches my sweatshirt. So I will tell you that my magnolia tree was in magnificent full bloom. It looked so pretty yesterday as it was snowing, but then it got really cold last night, and now it is literally cinnamon cider. The whole tree, cinnamon cider, dead. Every last bloom dead. So it doesn't look very Easter anymore. It looks like October, end of October, dead. Look how pretty this is. So, so pretty. Every sheet, beautiful. So this is why you want to do the Try It Club or Try It class, because in that class you will get, and here's the truth, sometimes the cards, this is why it's a difficult class for me to design, because I try to put as many pieces of paper on one card as I possibly can so you can see a lot of them. But sometimes I surprise myself what I'm able to come up with. And I know that everybody likes seeing them. And then this could be a class in later summer. It's an all-season set. We love a good all-season set. And it's super, super clever. Well, I didn't open it. Because the way they have designed this, it works. It obviously works. The dies work with the stamps, as they always do. The people who design our dies, they're geniuses. Well, sometimes, you know, they give us one and it has like a little bit of science involved, and then I'm like, yeah, this is supposed to be fun. But most of the time now they don't do that to us. Those ones where you used to have to build things, those were not my forte. But you can see this right here. See this die? So when you blade this on this and you run this through, what you're left with is a giant bunch of green leaves. And then you just stick that on here. It already has all of the things pushed out, or you could just cut the tree itself out and do green leaves. But I told you it was all season, right? Oh, and look, it has sweet little birds. Has some labels. I have not even really looked at the catalog. So when we got it, normally when you get it, you know, we're somewhere like Salt Lake or someplace fun, Orlando, we all get together, we get our catalog, we squeal, we sit together and we go through it. This year it was online. We didn't even have it to hold in our hands. So we looked at it via Zoom together. Okay, so here's some wood where you can cut out the trunk, or you can do some trees. Look at this one. And if you have other leaf dies that we've had in the past, because, you know, we've had some good leaf dies, look at that. This could be a class on its own. This is why when sometimes I look at them and I'm like, a summer retreat, and no, maybe class on its own. This would make some fabulous wall art. You know, for those of you that like to do the wall art where you switch out seasons, look. This looks like when we went to Hocking Hills. Because it's got everything in it. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And then I think that this went with this. I didn't pull my catalog back out. But if you watch me, you know I am a huge fan of this. Because right now you can buy this twine on its own. And I use it all the time. Because it just adds a little bit of texture. You don't have to know how to tie a bow. And I use the other colors as they're introduced. Like right now we have the white that's in with the snail dip bundle. But now we have black and some ivory. Maybe this is the one we have now. This looks like it's a gray. So now there's a little packet, and I'm fairly certain it came with this, because doesn't it look like it goes with it? But I didn't get my catalog back out to check because I wanted to get this posted. So if you don't have a copy of the new catalog coming to you, and you've never had a catalog before, or it's been a while, then all you have to do is let me know, and I'd be happy to send you one. If you have a demonstrator that you buy from already, then just let her know and she can send you one. If you're interested in joining my team, I would absolutely love to have you. If you join this month, you can pick from any of this stuff to go in your kit. You don't have to pick old stuff. You can pick new stuff because they like us to have new stuff. If you want information on any of my classes, for most of my classes, I offer just a video PDF version. So if you're a demonstrator or if you live in another country, you can participate that way. I think that's it. I want to get off here so I can edit this and get it posted. But the easiest way to always know what's going on is to join my email list. So that's what I have, and I need to move all this before it all falls off my little space of my table. Everybody have a super happy Easter, and I will be back. I'll try to get a card done and posted so you can see something, and I'll do that while my video is downloading. Have a great one. Bye.